Today I'm making Julia Child's Apple Snow dessert. It's beautiful. What is it? Welcome back to Jamie and Julia.
Oh! Bon appetit.
So we're gonna go into the beast today, which is the Way to Cook cookbook from Julia, of course. So we're gonna take a stab at Isabella Beeton's Apple Snow. There it is right there. Look at that thing. Now, Isabella Beeton was the 19th century version of Martha Stewart. And in 1800s, she had this easy to follow guide into domestic life. It was called the Book of Household Management. And I only know this because I just looked it up. And in a book like that, you can imagine the types of things that were in it. Recipes were in it, I guess. I don't know, I haven't read it, but apple snow, I guess, was in it. Now, I don't know if this is the original recipe of the apple snow, or has Julia done something with it? I can imagine the latter. What the hell is it? That's a good question. It's applesauce beaten into egg whites. And then on top, that's a caramel sauce. So that's great. I never thought, or Julia never thought, such a thing would work, but rather than collapsing the egg whites as I would have suspected, it stiffens them. Apple snow was not such a fast dish like back in the day, as all the beating was done by hand. But those were the days of the downstairs scullery maid who beat her little heart out for the folks upstairs. Well, times have changed, and the folks upstairs are the vacuumers, and they're not going anywhere near my apple snow. Let's get to work. We're gonna start off with some applesauce, homemade style. So I got a whole bowl, 4 pounds worth of the Granny Smith's. You know, tart, crunchy, sour, it's got the works. Bowl me. Thank you. So yeah, we don't need to take the skin off as it's gonna add body and flavor to our applesauce. So I just quarter it and remove the core. And then I gotta split the quarters in half. So in other words, 8thing it. C'est ça. And I know there's someone out there going, you know, why didn't you wash your apples? I did. It's just kind of a boring thing to film myself doing, you know, washing apples, so I just chose not to. But you can believe me that I did. So place apples in the saucepan. I need a lemon. That works. She says to remove the zest of a lemon with a vegetable peeler, but I feel like, I mean, that works. I don't need to remove the lemon peel afterwards, so I feel like this method works better. Also the juice from the same lemon. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Cover that up. I gotta get that onto a low heat for 30 minutes until the apples have softened and the juice is rendered from them. You know, I'm gonna be stirring it and mashing them along the way too. This episode today is brought to you by Factor. Factor makes nutritious, fresh, never frozen meals that are delivered right to your door. The timing was impeccable. It happens all the time over here. I run out of time to cook for myself whilst having a cooking show. It's a classic scenario. Sometimes I just don't want to cook. Sometimes I can't even think about cooking. And that's gonna lead me down the dark, expensive road of ordering in. Sometimes that's just not that healthy. So having something like Factor in your back pocket, which helps you avoid takeout, and it's cheaper and it's faster. Look at this. We just popped this sucker in the microwave. 2 minutes. And now I got myself a meal with flavor-packed options that fit your lifestyle. There's Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Vegan Plus Veggie, and Keto. Whatever you fancy. Or just grab and go, off to work. Where am I going? No, I work here. And that's not my hat. Chef-prepared meals that are gonna make it easy to eat well. No prep work, no mess. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code Antichef50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Bowl me. Thank you. So we're gonna be using my new toy here, which is the food mill, and I'm still getting used to it, but I've been having a blast. I love this thing. Woo! All right, I mean, this is all pretty, that smells nice. Okay, apples go into the mill, and let's puree, shall we? So the apple skins are not going through the food mill, and it's just making this whole process incredibly annoying. Okay, I really wanted to use this thing today, but that's all right. We always find a way. Dutch oven back over here. And the paltry amount of applesauce that I did end up making, I'm just gonna put that back in. So we just need a little something with a little more power. Hopefully this goes through those skins. So now I'm using the immersion blender and it is working much better. It's the damn apple peel. She wanted me to leave the apple peel on, right? Yes, it gives flavor and body to the sauce. Well, it's also just kind of a massive pain in the ass too. It's still kind of not the consistency I want. If I pass it through now, how will that go? It's kind of working now. That's better. Let's transfer what I've done so far with this apple puree into the food mill. The skin isn't going through the food mill. In hindsight, I would have peeled those damn apples. It's just lesson learned. In the video, I'm probably just gonna speed up this process. So it looks like it's only 20 seconds. This was like half an hour. Back into the pan. Add in a 1/4 cup of sugar. A 1/4 cup of sugar, please. Stir that in. Back to a boil. Adding a little more sugar if you want to taste. I just need to boil this slowly till it's thick enough to hold its shape quite solidly in a spoon. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Chuck, what do you think? I like it. So in the end, that gave me 3 cups worth of applesauce. How much do I need for the recipe? 3 cups worth. It's meant to be. It's been a minute. Long time, no see. It's the Silver Fox. Silver Fox. So what we gotta do here is with a nice old clean bowl, let's get the old whisk attachment on there. The egg whites from 4 large eggs into the bowl. I'm gonna whip these egg whites up into stiff peaks. But once we get to the foamy stage, I gotta add in 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar. That's on standby, we'll get there. Let's go. Speed kinda on low and then we work our way up. Okay, stop the madness. We need to form some stiff ass peaks. Unfortunately, I have gone ahead, over whipped the egg whites by, I'm gonna say like by a good 20 seconds or something. I don't know, I got really cocky there. I was looking for something really shiny. So we're gonna do my favorite hack. Egg whites from 1 egg, let's go. Okay, and that fixed all my problems in a span of seconds. So as Julia said, we need cold, thick, delicious applesauce. And this has been hanging out in the fridge. It's exactly what she's asking for. 1/2 cup at a time, add the applesauce. I'm gonna turn it up to high for 1 minute. Stop. And this is what we got here. Is this apple snow officially? I think so. Yeah, cover it up. And I'm gonna get this in the fridge. It will last up to a few hours. This is only one more thing I gotta do, so won't take long. And a photo there with all the color. That's the caramel sauce, and that's what we gotta do next. Small saucepan. In goes a cup of sugar, 1/3 cup of water. Bring to a simmer. Keep it swirling by the handle. Duh, of course the handle. How else am I gonna swirl it? So it's got that color going on because I was using like a browner cane sugar. Sugar has dissolved. It's still golden, but that's how it's gonna look with the sugar I was using. I'm gonna boil it like this for a few minutes. Don't forget to keep peeking though. Once it starts to really turn some color, I uncover the pan and swirl until a light caramel brown. I think that's mission accomplished. Into a bowl of cold water to stop it from cooking. So once the caramel is cooled but still liquid, I got a whole cup of cream here, blend it in. It's not really blending, so I'm gonna bring it to a simmer. Let the heat do the work. The cream is partially congealed up the caramel, which is supposed to happen, by the way. Keep it simmering and stirring over a moderate heat until the caramel dissolves. Bring that back over here. That doesn't look great right now, but I'm hoping once it cools down, it turns into something pretty beauty. So I'm gonna add in a pinch of salt and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, which I'm pretty confident is all of this. Yeah. So it is time to serve the apple snow. So how do we do that? Well, Julia recommends goblets. Closest thing I have are these glasses here, which I believe is called a coupe. Coupe? I don't know. We have them, we use them once in a blue moon. I have served another dessert in these before. It was the pêche cardinal, and it was great. The only thing is Julia's recommending I fill these up with a funnel. I don't have one, nor do I find it really necessary. So I'm just gonna drop it in. Nice and easy. Why don't we just serve a little bit more, you know? I got nothing else going on today. Let's fill it up right to the top. I wish the caramel sauce was a little more colorful, but this is what the cream did to it, so. Oh, still nice, still nice. A very generous amount of caramel sauce. She said generous, so that's what we're doing. Yeah, yeah. Order up! Apple Snow, show me what you got. So without the caramel sauce, this is just a very fluffy version of applesauce. So it's cool, but adding the caramel changes things drastically. Okay, I had 2 helpings, I think that's enough. I don't know much more apple snow I can manage right now. So when I added the cream into the caramel sauce, it kind of bleached it a bit, which is a shame because I was hoping for something a little more saturated. It's fine though, because the flavor was there. It was beautiful. Sweet and salty in the caramel sauce, and you just drizzle on top of something that's already sweet and tart and really nice, and you got yourself a winner. And if I was served that in the 1800s, 1861 specifically, I would be pretty happy. You know, eating it now, in 2023, yeah, I mean, it's great. I'm not gonna go call home about it, but I might call home if I was in the 1800s. I wouldn't have a phone back then, but you know, I'd call someone or tell someone. Anyway, I gotta go now. So that's it. Julia Child's Isabella Beeton's Apple Snow. This was Jamie and Julia. Bon appetit.
Au revoir.